Hi, I'm Denny Davis, and I would like to welcome you to the Oakley Valley Arts Council Historic Howells Opera House. You may wonder why we're doing this video, so I thought a short explanation might be helpful. About a month ago, my wife and I were watching a PBS presentation on TV titled Reopening the Return to Broadway. And what they did is they had a bunch of actors and directors and technical people that they interviewed and asked how they felt when COVID-19 shut down Broadway on March 12th, 2020, and then how later, a year and a half later or longer, Broadway finally started opening up at the fall of 2021. It was just kind of fun the more I watched it, and so it was about an hour long, and you can look that up on PBS if you'd like. But we went to bed, and the next morning I got up and I thought, we could do something like that. So what I thought we would do is interview a bunch of people who have been here recently acting on stage for us and directing and doing technical things, and tell a little bit of our story about how COVID-19 closed us down on exactly the same date, March 12th, 2020, and how we felt last year when we were able to reopen and do some more things. So with that, one thing for sure, you need to understand that this is not about me. In fact, this isn't about you. This is about the hundreds of people and how they have come to this theater over the last 114 years and what they have felt and what they have done. So with that, we'll continue with the video. Thank you and enjoy. How do you feel about the plays you've been in and that OVAC has done over the years?
When I was in high school, I always thought it would be fun to be on stage. But I only actually tried out for one thing when I was in high school, and it was not a high school production. It was a local theater thing, and didn't even come close to getting on stage there. And so I kind of gave it up as one of these dreams that will never happen, and it'll be fun to watch, but I will never be up on stage. And then we moved to Oakley, and there were productions here, and I thought, well, I'll try out. And I was asked to be in that production, and that was Guys and Dolls.
Oh, you were in Guys and Dolls?
I was in Guys and Dolls. I was one of the hot box dancers.
Oh.
It was so much fun. But I always thought it would be more fun to be one of the main characters. And so I started trying out for the non-musicals. And it was, like I said, just as much fun as I thought it would be. I loved every minute of it. One of the reasons that I love OVAC is because it gave me that chance that I always wanted since I was in high school, to be on a stage. And it gives anybody that chance. There are very few people that come to one of these things to try out that don't get the chance to be on the stage.
You moved to Oakley and all of a sudden became aware of a building over here, and what in the world got you to get here on stage?
Well, they were doing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and I just saw the advertisements for trying out, and I had a couple of kids who wanted to be in it. I was like, maybe I'll go along and help with that, or help them get into the play or whatever. And once I got in here, it was the first time I'd ever been in. I walked in and it was like, wow, this is how is this in this little teeny town that I just moved to? And my kids and I tried out, and we got into that play, and it was really fun to be in.
So is that important to you and your family then?
Yeah, very. Once we got into the routine of trying out for plays and being in the plays, it's become part of our life. And now, since we've been on kind of a hiatus because of the building project, feels like something's missing.
Well, I grew up out here. Basically, I feel like on the stage, and it's become like a second home to me.
So you have some
So.
strong feelings for this building and the people.
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
What's your favorite part?
The magic.
The magic.
The magic. As soon as you step on this stage or into this building, I just feel like it's magical. It's magical for the people on the stage. It's magical for the people in the audience. It's magical for the crew, whether your lights, sound, backstage. It's just a different feeling.
The first one, 1999, was when we first took this serious. I brought 2 of my teenage kids out here to try out for 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. And while I was here, the director says, "Why don't you get up?" And I stood up here and sang Mary Had a Little Lamb and sat down, and they didn't get a part, and I got the lead role, and so they've never let me forget about that. But since 1999, we've been pretty heavily involved, 14 years straight pretty much. And like my daughter Kylie said, it's been a family thing. When we, instead of staying home and watching TV, we piled in the car and drove 20 minutes and come out to Oakley. And all my kids, except for one, have been involved out here and been in multiple productions and stuff. So it's just been a great family thing for us.
So has anything ever funny happened to you on the stage that you didn't expect?
Oh my heavens. There's been many times where something that we as the cast can deem as funny, and sometimes the audience doesn't even realize it, but then there are those obvious moments where, yeah, definitely something went awry. I can remember the one that I am most remembered for is the one that it was Arsenic and Old Lace. And I was downstairs and going over my lines, and we were watching the TV set from on top of the refrigerator down in the
Green room.
And I had began to talk to someone, and I looked up and I went, "Oh my gosh, that's me!" I hit that stairs running, and I flew out onto the stage. And Tom Steele says I left him there for 5 minutes. I know it wasn't more than 45 seconds, but I know he says it was like eternity to him.
Feels like eternity.
It does.
Been
It
there.
does. Yes.